How did you lose your virginity? Lost it in a movie theater when we saw no one else was in there. Didn't know the staff could see us on camera, so they moaned at us when we walked out and I ran out of the theater so fast. Ended up waiting to get picked up in the rain because I was so embarrassed. Well, they had a good sense of humor. They also watched the whole thing, so really they're the ones winning in this transaction. Well, I lost mine on a race car bed. He was 17 and his room was decked out with Hot Wheels. Done in 60 seconds. Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious, Pokioclits. I was 18, finally met up with my long-distance girlfriend. We got a hotel suite for a week near where she lived and basically didn't leave it except for food the whole time. Pretty much the same, except I was 19 and we stayed at her student apartment. We did go out for some fresh air and got groceries a couple of times, but the rest was just all youthful enthusiasm. I bet it smelled like teen spirit in that room. Smelled like both teens and spirits probably. To an Irish girl in a hotel room in Spain in 1997. Vodka was involved. Cultural exchange at its finest. Last day of my freshman year in college with my lab partner. She was very sweet, and I never saw her again. When I returned to my own dorm shortly afterwards, my folks were waiting for me. Awkward. Why didn't you see her again? Because it was an experiment. Experiments are only useful if the results are repeatable. In the parking lot of a Fazoli's right after church because my Catholic girlfriend felt bad about doing it before church lol. You get some post-sex breadsticks? I'm no loser. I took my virginity. With my own hands. Some might say this is the right way to do it. In college with a good guy friend. We both had a crush on each other. One day we were making out and I told him I was a virgin and wanted him to teach me. It was a surprisingly comfortable and amazing experience. I told him I was a virgin and wanted him to teach me. You see, the way to be a virgin is. The first step is to download Reddit. The second one is install League of Legends. Then get your Corsair gaming headset. Damn it, I have all these things, but I also have kids. Time to get a paternity test. Traveled to see a girl. Turns out she was a massive bitch in person and I ended up hanging out with her friend instead, who I also knew. Ended up in her dorm room watching movies. One was Fight Club because I haven't seen it before. I still haven't seen Fight Club. You should see Fight Club. It's a good movie. Back of her parents' van, in a Walmart parking lot. Black Eyed Peas were playing on the radio. Makes me laugh every time I think about it. Edit, whoa, this kinda popped off, haha. The song was I'm a bust. I mean I'm a B. And sorry you 1N1N1 is 3, this happened in Texas, I doubt we are long lost lovers. Edit number 2, I know this will be disappointing for many of you, you 1N1N1 is 3 and I sorted it all out. Turns out it was just an absolutely bizarre coincidence. This has been wild. Remember kids, safe sex is great sex. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. I haven't lost my virginity cause I don't lose. Awkwardly. Sounds pure. Sex. Same here. I'm pretty sure it's usually how it's done. Seems to do the trick. Don't fix what ain't broke. Me and my girlfriend told our archery coach that my mom wanted me home early and she was my ride. We snuck into the Arby's parking lot and went at it in the back seat of her Nissan Rogue. Archery, Arby's, a Nissan Rogue and WTF is the next seat? Wild story, 1010 would read again. It's the seat wherein you do the necking, ovs. A girl caught my eye at a college dance. I had previously spoken to her once before and complimented her Zelda shirt. I talked to her all evening, then invited her back to my apartment to show her Breath of the Wild, which had just come out. We play until 5 in the morning. I regretted not making a move. I invited her over for Zelda again the next evening and we stayed up until 5 in the morning doing something different. Hi Ha hoo ha hi Rupees jingle. In a public bathroom with my girl best friend. It was nice. Really classy. When I was 13, my dad was a truck driver who was gone most of the week but back on weekends. In the quest for more money, he decided to become an owner-operator LHT with Prime, which would keep him on the road for months at a time. My dad decided he didn't want to be away from my stepmom for that long, so she got her CDL and went with him. My stepmom's friend Rami moved in to watch me and my 3 brothers and brought her 2 daughters with her, one 17 and one 19. The 19-year-old called me up to her room one day and asked me if I knew how to eat pussy. I told her no, and she asked me if I wanted to learn. I was a horny 13-year-old, so of ducking course I thought I hit the jackpot. I went down on her and then we had some very brief penetration where I came inside her almost immediately upon entering her. The fun part besides the statutory rape was, since I had no clue about condoms and whatnot, she missed her period the next month and I got my first pregnancy scare at the ripe age of 13 years old. She didn't end up being pregnant, but it was definitely a heavy burden weighing on my mind for quite a bit. That was a roller coaster, as I'm reading about how you lost it. I first see you mention my dad, and am thinking oh no, then I keep reading and see it's not him. Then I see you mention my stepmom's friend and I think oh no. But it's not her. Then I read the 19-yo and think oh okay, then I remember your age and think oh no. The fun part besides the statutory rape. The self-awareness makes it better. In my girlfriend's parents' bed over Memorial Day weekend. It was weird. With her or her parents? Why not both? 26 extremely intense seconds. Missionary. I finished sweating over her, panting. Asked her, did you come too? Like a ducking idiot. Dude, I crippled inside reading the last part. Romantic evening with candles. 06,17,09 lasted about 30 seconds. Well, someone had to unvirgin the olive oil. You guys are losing it? I turned my back on it for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and it wandered off. Its collar broke and it got loose. Met a girl online. Flew across the US. Met her, didn't do anything. Continued to talk. Flew over again 6 months later, had sex with her the first night. This was in like 1999, I think? Edit, went back sooner than I remembered, updated. 1999 Internet, ASL. 18th Kali flies across the US. Very awkwardly, as most people have. On the floor of a movie theater. And some say he's still stuck there. In a grass field with my childhood best friend's sister. Was it like strawberry wine? 17. Lost it with my current boyfriend 2 years ago. We were dating for 6 months beforehand and went on a hike for my birthday to my favorite hot springs inside of a slot canyon. It was dark by the time we got to the end where the hot springs were, and no one else was there. We had sex half in and half out of the hot spring. It was a genuinely awesome experience. As we were hiking out, it started pouring and we had to legitimately book it back from this 3-mile hike through a slot canyon to get out. This normally takes about 3 hours to navigate with rock climbing and dangerous terrains even when dry. We made it out in about 1.5 hours running as we were worried about flooding, which, yes, can happen quickly. Thankfully, we made it out unscathed. We'll definitely check the weather next time. It was one of the coolest adrenaline rush experiences I've ever had and I am very lucky to have had such a great time. You had me at Slot Canyon. Hashtag you can lose it? There are many in the lost and found, so I guess so. In the movie theater during Too Fast Too Furious. Sex was the same. 19 years old in my current boyfriend's bedroom. He was very patient with me and I had to ask him to stop cause it was hurting too much.